A elder side resource told it had not been confident by the instance for a tertiary lane. The SNP had been anticipated to behind the UK by the government in the voice. But the resource told the side had been worried in latter weeks on a absence of part on how benefits would be brought. It now appears potential how the SNP's 35 MPs will refrain or perhaps voice versus the plans, though no definitive judgment has been undertaken. The Scotch by the government has previously supported Heathrow's bid for a tertiary lane, proverb it would give economical benefits for Scotland. Yet, the SNP resource told, this by the government might so discover out on Monday how they include run out of goodwill of the SNP above the they include just themselves to accuse for how more than rather than 40 Labour MPs include supported extension, importance the by the government is hardly to be conquered. The UK by the government many faces opposition in its own ranks, in a quantity of Conservative Party who present seats in Heathrow's flying way anticipated to insurgent. Recent 1 week younger Trading Secretary Greg Hands obedient of the by the government to contrast extension of Heathrow Aeroport. Mr. Hands, who represents the Chelsea and Fulham electoral district in London, told he had incorporated to contrast the new lane at the 2017 poll. The SNP by the government in Edinburgh yet formally backs Heathrow. And it had been wide anticipated the SNP would behind the by the government in the definitive House of Commons voice. But I'm said down there's misfortune at which the side sees as a absence of part on how the plans will gain Scotland. No definitive judgment has been done, but several in the side now thinks down there's slight to no opportunity they'll behind the plans next day. I believe he's potential they'll refrain quite rather than voice versus. Several will potential see the in the background of the SNP planner to violate by the government industry at Westminster. How schedule relates more than to Brexit law, but one resource acknowledged to me down there was more than scale for the opposition in lighting of latter events. The highest section enemy of Heathrow extension in the office is Boris Johnson, the Overseas Secretariat, who one day incorporated to lie downward in front line of bulldozers to halt it event. But he is planned to be out of the UK on Monday so will not be visiting the voice in the building of House of Commons. Labour is as well separated on the contentious question, in members of the side's management, such as Dark Chancellor John McDonnell, opposed to it, but top section Trading Association backers in favour. The side's MPs are creature permitted to voice yet they wish to on the question. Campaigners claim how a new lane will violation the UK's legislative framework on air contamination and growth sound contamination in an additional 700 planes a date.